All right, everyone, so 2v2 ladder is actually fixed now. You can go in game and play it, but we're going to talk more about that later because we have more pressing things to talk about right now. And that is because we actually ended up getting a small wave of balance changes as well. So only 2 cards in this wave of balances, nothing crazy, but they are definitely going to be very impactful. The one that I'm honestly the most excited about is for the berserker. She is getting a reduction to her hit speed, which is going to result in a 20% buff to her damage per second. Berserker ended up weaker than we had hoped, so we're increasing her hit speed by 0.1 seconds. This change will boost her damage per second and make her a stronger competitor in the arena. I overall agree with the rationale behind this balance. The Berserker was not that great upon release, safe to say, and even though they had already buffed her once, I think another buff will definitely help her out a lot. I really do think she has a lot of potential in cycle decks, and I really want to see her maximize that potential because I think she's a really cool card, especially for being just a 2 elixir common card. But now this next one I know a lot of you are going to be excited about, but it is for the evolved Lumberjack. So basically what they did, it's pretty simple. The Lumberjack ghost life cannot be extended by rage spell. So the Lumberjack's ghost is only contained within the rage spell that the Lumberjack drops. So if you decide to play another rage spell, the ghost lifespan will not get extended, and that's actually a pretty big nerf because that's where a lot of his viability was coming from, extending his life and letting him just cook for longer and longer. And a lot of their reasoning you can actually see is related to 2v2 ladder as well, where 2 players could coordinate their spells and extend the ghost lifespan indefinitely. There were a lot of people that were doing that in their strategies, and it was resulting in just a lot of chaos. So I think this is a good change, but again, it brings up a problem. A few videos ago, I talked about that cycle that Clash Royale tends to go through with broken new cards, where they release a new card, they have people spend money on it, whether it's a shop offer or the pass. In this case, it's the pass. And then once people buy the pass, they end up nerfing it a couple times to the point where it isn't nearly as strong. Now, do I still think the Evo Lumberjack is going to be good? Yes, I do. But that nerf definitely takes away a lot of the viability that it previously had. So again, from the get-go, let's just balance cards from the beginning so that way we don't have to emergency nerf cards like this. And then yeah, of course they fixed 2v2 ladders so that way you get multiple chest types without getting the same chest type, which is good. And then also they are extending 2v2 ladder to February 25th. So a nice little gesture there. I appreciate it. Now going back to 2v2 ladder, there's something I actually wanted to talk about in regards with it. So for those of you that played the last 2v2 ladder that came out in November, you may remember that along the track, it was basically completely full of season tokens with a few tracks having gold crates. Now this time that is a little bit different. We have a lot more things instead, but I want to know y'all's thoughts on getting actual cards compared to season tokens and also that extended season shop that we got last time. Me personally, I'm a fan of getting these magic items at the top, but I'm not necessarily a big fan of getting specific cards. Because let's say you don't use bombers, goblin cages, bowlers, or executioners in your deck, and you're still trying to get your deck upgraded. Then in that case, this really doesn't have much use to you. But with the old 2v2 system, really regardless of what deck you play, season tokens always will have some sort of value. So I don't know, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of these cards here. Again, once you get to 19 wins and start getting magic items, I am a much bigger fan of that. I'm also a fan of the elite wildcards, but I think the amount could have been a little bit more. 2,500 elite wildcards really isn't a lot at all. If it were something maybe like 10,000, I would appreciate that a lot more. But again, it's free progression. It's more progression than you would have otherwise. So I'm going to stop complaining and I'm going to end this video here. See you all in the next one.